Welcome back to another episode of Find the Line, presented by Against the Grain Design and Print, where we dive into real stories with real racers, the successes, the hardships, and everything in between, with your co-hosts Logan Cipala and Joe Falde. Produced by Luke Cipala, it all starts right here, right now, on Find the Line.
And we can do anything. Mama said it's true, and I put that on everything. Mama told me one day I'ma blow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sing when shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange. And I bet I'll do it, cause I'm on my way and strong enough that I can shake the pain. We don't ask for the doors to close in this life, so
Woo! Welcome back to Find the Line, my friends. We are on a highly caffeinated Sunday morning edition of Find the Line. Yes, I got a little Bailey's in this coffee. If I get to 3 cups, it's going to be like the Micro Machines guy. Look out. This week, we got absolute pleasure in store for you. We're going to be talking to a man that has put countless hours, weeks, months, years into pushing American Hill Climb forward and putting it on his shoulders and raising it so high. We're talking to a man that was a rider, a team owner, a promoter, an AMA official, and a damn legend. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rob Redmann. Rob, how's it going?
Great. Thanks for having me, guys.
You bet.
Joe,
Are you bail?
You never disappoint with the intro.
Well, I'm highly
just gonna
caffeinated.
I was just going to say that for the first time in a long time, none of us or not any of us have any alcohol in our mugs. And I guess I was wrong.
Oh, I solved that problem
too
real
soon.
quick. Yeah, I solved. It's Sunday morning. I'm having the good coffee today. You know that.
I was planning on that last night when I got home. I'm like, that would be pretty dang good, but I don't stock any Baileys here. It's a damn crime.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the cheat code right now to everybody, all my peeps out there. So Bailey's, this sucks because it's so expensive. It's like $30 for a bottle, and when you have it in your house, it's gone, right?
Yep.
Like we all know. I'm not gonna tell the story out loud, but we've heard the story from the Cipala family, right? But at Aldi in River Falls, they sell alcohol, and they're Irish. What do they call it? It's not
Irish cream, right?
Irish cream. It's like
think.
Conley's. It's really good. It's $7 for a bottle. So instead of $30 for a bottle of Bailey's, it's $7. Oh, Saturday and Sunday, without a question. Boop! I'm topping it off with some Bailey's. I gotta.
Yeah, you have to stock up at Costco because they have their own too, and you get a big bottle for $50.
Yeah, theirs are huge.
Okay, all right, yep. That all right. We got 2 cheat codes then, Rob. Thank you. Right away, we're making everybody's lives better. I love it. Dude, Rob, thank you so much for joining us. We had kind of a mixed up schedule, and the only thing Machine had was Sunday morning, and appreciate you filling us in here. But wow, what a crazy year this is. You're not preparing for White Rose. What are you doing? Are you just pacing in the morning, or what have you been doing with all this extra time you got?
It's been great. It's been like being on a really good vacation. No phone
awesome.
calls, nothing. It's chasing the grandkids around. Watching Logan try to get off the starting line is a good one too, but it's been good. I did it for so long, and the direction it was going, and it just it was going so good, and things started changing a little bit, and I seen a turn for the worst actually, and it's like I need to bow out. And like Nancy Deere told me, she said, Rob, it's for your own health because your stress level is way too high.
Yeah.
So
and nobody's put more passion and energy into it except you. And it's we've seen it. I mean, obviously the riders and the fans and everybody, you put so much time and energy, and it's appreciated, Rob. Like we wanted to talk to you many times. We're hoping to have you on again after this just to talk about all the things that you did and helped for the sport. But right now we just want to talk to you about, life after hill climb for you, Rob. This is a little unusual, but what exactly are you doing? Are you guys camping? Are you just going and seeing the grandkids, or what have you been doing?
well, it's been it's just been busy. Now I'm actually working some overtime at work, which is good because that loads my pension, and I could never do that before. And
right.
We've been to 2 Harescrambles to watch the grandkids, and we went to the Tileman Trail Ride and hung out with them there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just been busy. Went out to flew to Pennsylvania. Went out to Dr. Bob's funeral.
Okay. Oh wow.
Took that in. So
nice. Cool.
Yeah, no, it's just been good, and get to hang out with my wife, and it was cool because she got to go with the last year to experience it. So
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of settling in and getting ready to retire and I'm gonna get my knee replaced, and hopefully I don't have to have my hip replaced at the same time. They wouldn't do it right away afterwards, but
Right.
that's scheduled for the end of the year, and
Nice. Okay,
I
good.
think I'll just kind of bow out of work, and because I'll be out 9 weeks, and I think
Right.
I'll just bow out and retire and
Good.
go to
A
the next
9-week
chapter.
vacation right into retirement.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Nice.
Exactly right.
Perfect. Okay.
Exactly.
This is a warning I have for you, Rob, and it's something I've seen, right? So I know that you got e-bikes, okay? Can you please wear a helmet when you're riding them? Because
Yeah.
all the people that I see riding e-bikes, they're like, I think they're freaking epic, but you're going to be going like 40 to 60 miles an hour on that e-bike. Like, put a damn helmet on, all right? We don't want you drooling out of the corner of your mouth too early, okay?
It's crazy. It's how fast they make them now.
Yeah, no, they're amazing.
To pull
It's
my
cool stuff.
fat ass, I'm looking at one that will do 55 miles an hour just to keep up with Wanda.
Shoot.
So
Please, I see it all the time. You know, my age, retirement age, people on them with no helmets, and I'm like, man, I wouldn't even think about riding one without a helmet. You are just hauling ass on them things. It's like it don't cost nothing to have a helmet on when you're riding. So please
well, it
wear
just
a
sucks because I'm wide open and she blows by me like I'm standing still. So we got to step the game up a little bit.
They're so fun. They're so fun. Well, man, glad to see you're using the time. I know not quite exactly the same because you have a full-time job as well. But I remember my father-in-law, when he retired from his work, he's like, I don't know where I found the time to work. He got so busy with all the
Yep.
stuff you want to do. I hope that you're the same way. It's spice of life is keeping busy and using your time with what you want to do with it. So good for you, Rob. That's pretty epic.
Yeah, it's just and I'll be 62 in January, and it's just like I'm ready to go to the next chapter, and I've been eating sandwiches out of cold sandwiches for so long now. It's
Yeah.
I think I can have a warm lunch now.
There you go. Heck yeah. Let's
Nice.
go. Rob, talking now American Hill Climb. And how many years were you actually the official of American Hill Climb? Do you remember?
I started well, we went east. Nate turned pro in 2007,
Okay.
and I got involved in 2000 when Nate got the ride with Dr. Bob, riding the nitro bikes. I took on the officiating then. I wasn't running the series, but that was 2009.
Okay.
And when Nate would ride, I'd step out of the box, and somebody would step in and officiate that ride. And I took the series over in 2014.
Okay. Wow.
And just tried to make small strides, and the riders bought into it. And when you guys started these podcasts, spreading the word about professionalism, that helped tremendously, because without it, pretty proud of the pits, how the pits, how everything stepped up.
Yeah.
Rider gear, the professionalism stepped up. And
Right.
I tried to promote it, and I understood that it costs money. It costs a lot of money to look professional.
Yeah.
And when you guys came aboard and started doing these podcasts, people bought into it then. And
Right.
that was huge. That was huge. But no, I was thinking about it this morning. 20 years I've been going east.
Wow.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, 2007 or
Yep.
6.
Yep.
So
Wow.
Rob, was it you that initiated how you could qualify for your not probation? What is it from
Provisional.
Provisional? Was that your
Yeah.
class that did that?
Yep.
Because I think that for me, I don't know why I just lived in a box, but even growing up, I never really knew about billings or I didn't have the internet and I didn't really know about professional racing. I knew about from going to Elkhart when we were younger about the East AMA
Yep.
Pro Racing East. And I was always just told it was like a club and it wasn't something that you could just do. You had to know somebody, that's what I was always told. And I thought that provisional that you added was about the coolest effing thing I'd ever heard of, because it's so intimidating to go join another series or whatever, because you just don't know. Like, even when I went with Cipala's to Rockwell, I felt like an outsider and it was really hard for me to like get comfortable because I wasn't them, right? But when you had that provisional, and I got first in open class, and I qualified, and I got my provisional, and I called Sharon and got my credential or whatever. I knew that I had the right to be there. It felt so awesome. Like, it was so cool that I earned the right to race with those other fast dudes. And I just think that's one of the coolest steps ever in our all the racing that I've done, is that you earn that damn ticket. I just think that's so freaking cool, man.
Well, it used to be, to qualify for the amateur nationals, you had to go to 2 qualifiers.
Right.
You used to have to go to 2 qualifiers, and you had to be in the top 7 or 8 to go to the amateur nationals.
Right.
And Roger Ansel at the time was the head of AMA, and I asked Roger, when it went away, it's like, well, now anybody can go. I mean, any high school sport you look at, there's sections, there's regions, then you go to the state tournament.
Yep.
You go to the big show. And Roger said, well, it's a family event, everybody deserves to go to the amateur nationals.
Right.
Well, whatever. I mean, there isn't a spectator base at the amateur nationals, it's family. So
Right. Yeah.
when I finally got full control, I thought, geez. And I always told people, if the guys come from the Midwest, we have a fast core of people that aren't afraid to spend money. And if they come, and I use Nate as an example, Nate went out, we built a 612, and Nate didn't ride. Nate was good, but he wasn't, you could have put him on a motocross track with a 65, and a 65 would have spanked him. But he could hill climb, you know?
Yeah. No.
And he went out and he won, White Rose, he won the first 8 years that we were there.
Damn, that's cool.
That's crazy.
And
on my bullet points right here, bringing the talent from the Midwest, the very top one that I wrote down, dude. I mean, it was a huge part of what you've done there, is bringing it and making it almost a basically nationwide series, even though it's only, Midwest to East, but it's as close as we have to a full nation series. Because the West is very Western located. Only Logan goes, and maybe Matt Allfilish and a couple of Steve Kane. But that there, the East series, it's wide. There's a lot of people, and now it's because of you, and it's awesome, man. Thank you for all that you've done to get that talent there.
No, it was a dream, and it took a little bit for AMA to get up to speed with it.
Right.
And it's so funny now because Corey Texter's doing the same thing in all reality with flat track. They run a complete show on Friday, and then that group of 450 guys get to race Saturday night with the pros. Well, here we just mixed them in, and
right.
And I took a lot of grief on it. Well, they shouldn't get the purse money. They shouldn't get the points because it interferes with the points. And it's like, man, you guys, these are amateurs. You just need to step up and go faster.
Right. Don't be intimidated. Just be better. Right.
Yeah. Be better. You're professional. Go fast.
I think it's been so awesome in our little sport, because and I hate calling it amateur and pro, because like you said, the talent is the same all over. It's the bike qualifications, the tires, the gas, the motors, whatever.
The only difference.
But we've been so freaking spoiled from, places like Munson, Massachusetts, and Bay City and Red Wing here, how we have these pods of just huge amateur racing families and people that you go to nationals and there's 400 freaking riders or whatever. And we have this pool to draw from, where I see like now District 36 in California, how Matt's getting that amateur going. And then that injects young kids. And that's how you have a future, is by having young kids. And now we have another one. We were just talking on the phone, Rob, and the series, is it, do you remember what we were talking yesterday? What's the name of that series?
The Appalachian.
Yeah,
yes, that's
cool,
so
too.
cool.
And they've got some cool hills.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's so awesome that they have this series with these great venues. And what were you saying yesterday? How many of the 50s did they have and stuff?
Well, I kind of helped set this up because I called to Kevin Luna to see if he'd be on board. And then I called Les Wolf and I said, you have a golden opportunity with Del Barton starting up.
Yeah.
Because back in the heyday, I say the heyday back in my day,
right,
West Virginia was very strong with riders. Kentucky, there was a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
And George Lonnenbach, Dr. Bob's son-in-law, he calls and tells me Chris Chartier, Kaysen, Chris Chartier's son, and That's grandpa for George's grandpa, and George always gives me race updates. And last weekend at the Moonshine Hill Climb, in the youth classes, they had 92 entries.
Yes.
I mean,
Wow.
it's
Yes.
just
Huge.
exploding.
That's
And
awesome.
that's 50s through super mini. They had
Oh,
92
amazing.
entries.
And just think of all the moms and dads that high-fived, all the kids that had just awesome, building great human moments from competing and racing. Thank you to all the volunteers and people that made
Yep.
this happen. That's so cool. That's epic.
Well, they're really, I mean, this is a new facility, and Randy Maynard is in charge of it. Randy Maynard was a quad guy forever.
We won't
Charlie
hold that against
Runyon.
them.
Charlie Runyon was part of that crew. Charlie was a big old boy, and they rode the quads. And it's funny, I was listening to the live feed were doing, and it's got to be children, grandchildren to these people are still racing, so they're bringing it back. It's just
Awesome.
it's awesome,
Yeah, it's fun. And I think it's cool, like now that we see, like Logan, we follow him, the cross pollination. You're not just a hair scramble guy. You're not just a moto
Right.
guy. You're not just a hill climb guy. Logan's competing in several different facets of racing. And that's awesome for hill climb because hill climb's a sport where you can dip your toes in. We see it all the time. Come have some success, learn some new talents, and maybe make a little money, right? And if these
Right.
young kids have a taste of that, when they become to be, young men, women that are starting to be really fast, now they can dip it in, dip out. And the cool thing is you can have a 450 that's 6 years old and fast and come and compete, right? You don't have to have the best of the best of the best. So it's such an easy sport to dip in and dip out of. It's so fun just to add to your repertoire. I love that part of it.
Well, it's crazy because back in the day, if you hill climbed, you were a hill climber. You didn't do
Yep.
anything else
Yep.
because you were working, and you didn't you hill climbed.
Right.
And the level of riding has improved so much in the last 5 years. I've been out excuse me, I've been out west, and the rider ability on the West Coast is just off the hook. I mean,
Right.
it's granted the guys go real fast on the East Coast too. I'm not condemning them, but you compare apples to apples,
Right.
big difference. Big difference.
Rob, I have lived through Logan so many times where I have just like internally fist pumped and been so pumped. But one of my biggest ones was I was mechanicking for him. I think it was at ERX. He was doing a Harescramble. He podiumed. He's talking to the one guy at the podium. And the guy's like, "Oh, you moto?" And Logan's like, "No, I'm a hill climber." And the guy's face just white as a ghost, huh?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, yes, like, yeah, in your face, Milwaukee, we're coming. It's just like, it was awesome. That guy, I mean, you could have knocked him over with a feather when Logan said, "No, I'm a hill climber." And the guy's just like, what? It was
Well,
epic.
it's funny with Charlie and Jack. They were looking at pictures, and they really didn't know I rode. And so I showed them this picture. We were in Brainerd, Minnesota. I was on a YZ250, and first thing Jack says, Jack's 5 years old. "Well, where's your riding gear?" I got it on. I have a helmet. He says, "You have a T-shirt on."
Right.
He says, "You have pants on. Where's your riding gear?" I said, "That was the riding gear."
Yeah, it was only the
I
rich
started-
people that had the riding
Yeah.
gear.
When I first started, there wasn't even moto helmets. They had the half helmets with the
Yeah.
mouthpiece.
Yeah.
So I had a street bike helmet. I was Phil.
We had the hacksaw blade with the chunk
Yep.
of leather for a kill
Yep.
switch. Oh yeah, you didn't come up
Exactly.
and grab somebody's handlebar. You're gonna get some.
Yeah.
Oh, them's the
Oh,
good old
that's
days,
funny.
Rob.
Crazy.
Yeah, they don't realize how spoiled they are, do they?
No.
I didn't play like outside of hill climbing. I bet you I never put gear on until I was like 10 to 12 years old for like riding at home. We just wore jeans and a t-shirt and like
Well-
knee pads over top the jeans. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, you were
Well, my
watching
dad-
Todd. You didn't know any
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was Irish setter work boots. Those were the best because
Yeah.
you could move your ankles.
Rob, the other thing I got some bullet points on you. The one other thing or not the one, but many things that I've noticed, dude, you were always pushing to get the purse for the riders, right? Like I loved you were very clear in the riders meetings. We're talking, this is the percentage. This is our overage. You had the numbers right there in front of you. You would let the riders, the promoters, everybody know we're working together. We packed
Right.
this freaking venue. The promoter's going to make a bunch of money. The riders are going to get a bunch of money. Everybody wins. And I love that aspect of how you rolled it all together. That's why it was so easy for us to buy tents, to have a great experience before the race, during the race, and after the race for the riders and the spectators. And you really, really always kept it forefront to have a great purse. And like working with the Dayton Motorcycle Club, having these epic venues where we had opportunities to make real money that affected our race programs. I mean, we weren't winning $300-400. We were winning thousands of dollars for podiums and wins. And that was due to you always putting the riders' needs ahead of us. And you weren't giving it to anybody. It was there to earn. That's what I liked about it, is we're going to put on a good show. This is the money out there for the clubs and the riders, and you made it very good for us riders. Thank you, Rob. That was so fundamental, and why I wanted to come east. I know for sure.
Well, it changed so much, Nate was riding for Dr. Bob, and the percentage spread was terrible. I mean, it was so top heavy, and 10th place was getting 1%. I mean,
Jesus.
And right now they still only get 3%, but you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, so it came off the top side, and
right.
But Dr. Bob got so mad at me when I proposed that in a pass, because he said, "You're taking money away from me and Nate," and it's like, well, no, you can't have a show with 5 guys.
Right.
You can't have a show with 5 guys.
Yeah.
And when we first started going east, Premier Class had 8 people in it.
Right.
That was it. Well, everybody got paid, and I just kept trying to improve, and the promoters would say, well, we've got so much money invested. Well, yeah, you do. So, I mean, your take is fantastic, but the riders have a lot of money invested, and without the riders, you don't have a show, and it took a long time to get them to buy into that. And I always said, it's got to be a happy marriage.
Yeah.
If both sides of the fence aren't happy, it sucks.
That was one cool thing too, right or wrong, people had differing opinions on it, but it was fun that you weren't afraid to change stuff and, mix it up a little bit. Like a couple of years ago when we were going to add more to the 450s and take away from the Premier, because the sports just changed so much. Back then there was the 2 bikes and you pulled a little bit for the 450s, but it's like people are investing serious money, and it's a very competitive class. And I still think that they deserve more money than in that class than what we're giving them. But it was cool to try that and spread the money around a little bit differently at times and see how it works.
Well, it goes back so long. One thing I'm proud of is the dual lane setup.
Yeah.
I started that in amateur hill climbing. It's like the shows were so long.
Right.
They were 12, 13 hours. You had 6,500s, and you had the 450s, and you had the 250s. And doing the dual lane just made the program go so much faster.
I think I was there. That was at Red Wing, right? And I remember people were like, "Oh, world's on fire," like this. And by intermission, everybody's like, "This is freaking awesome!" Like it only took like an hour of running, where everybody's like, "This is amazing! Yes, we have to do this at every race."
Well, the club didn't want to do it, and they didn't want to put up the backstop, so I got shrink wrap, the heavy, and that's what I wrapped around the poles.
Rob, were you at the first Devil's Staircase when they did the dual lane setup or not for nationals? I think it was the first time
I came down to watch.
Ever had it. And oh my God, I thought the people from the East Coast were going to burn the fucking venue down. There was some guy, well, if I get squirrely out of the hole, my run's wrecked. Just so pissed. And we're like, no. Like all you have to do is make it to the lights in your lane. That's all you got to do.
It was just like
the world people were losing their mind.
Yeah, the world.
They were so pissed.
Yeah,
I've never seen so many people in uproar, and now what they do it at every nationals now.
Every national, they have to. I don't think they need to.
No, I went down at some point. Some hills we're probably gonna have 3 lanes if they keep on getting that successful, right?
Yeah.
I've been to some redneck hill climbs over the years too, and they were doing at one of the ones in Iowa or Illinois that I went to. they did the split lane, and then at the riders meeting, they're like, people, we do the split lane, and people complain that they don't get to ride the whole hill. So your first round's going to be in the left lane, and your second round's going to be in the right lane.
Yeah.
So he swapped, and it was like literally the hills were complete opposite because it was like a natural hill, and only one run mattered. You could only win from the left lane, so you either had to make your first or second ride count.
Oh, geez.
Like, how is that fair?
No, it's just like when we had the extreme class and the unlimited class, and Chris Carr, famous dirt tracker, became my boss at Florida, and they came to his wife came to their first hill climb, and I was pretty proud of the show that day. Everything went good. We had some fast times, and so I said to Chris's wife, Wanda was her name, and I said, Wanda, what do you think? And she said, I was lost all day. And I said, well, what do you mean? And she said, I was lost all day. I didn't understand your extreme class, your unlimited class. She said, all the bikes look the same.
Right.
And that would have dated back to probably 2014. Mm-hmm. And then this is where the twins idea came from.
Right.
Definite separation, 450, and when I pulled the trigger on that, people quit. People were pissed. Yeah. And they did what they've learned over time. I think the East Coast riders is, yes, you are racing for a championship, but you're there to put on a show.
Yeah.
Yes.
John Wolfson, after the first national championship at the Staircase, when I told him, I said, guys, you're the band. You're the entertainment, and we have to keep this rolling. We can't have the big breaks. And he came up to me afterwards and he says, I never thought about it that way.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you're the entertainment. They paid their $30 to come and watch nonstop action.
Yep.
And it put a lot of stress on the riders because I really pushed. Well, you guys know, if you got to change gearing or anything, it's like, we got to keep going.
Yeah. You're freaking working.
Feel bad for you guys on those hot days and you're sweating your nuts off and you're changing gearing and you got to change a tire combo or whatever you're doing to improve your ride. There's not a lot of time. And everybody bought into the system I was trying to sell, which was excellent, Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty proud of that. When you can keep a show on the East Coast of 3 hours and 45 minutes to 4 hours and 15 minutes, that, granted, we don't have the rider count that the West Coast has, but it's continuous nonstop action.
Every person that I brought, my wife, my brother, whoever it's coming, when they get that East Coast show, they're like, damn, is that awesome? I'm like, that's why we get the crowd. Because you're excited to come. And when you leave, you want more, right? Like
and that's what you have to do. You have to make them leave wanting more.
Yeah.
Come back.
It was funny at the first national championship, how the riders kind of got upset with me. Kevin Looney come to me and he says, we're going into the second round of Premier. And he says, Rob, he says, we got to slow this down. He says, we got people still coming through the gate, but people were leaving. So people didn't understand what they don't understand at the Double Staircase. People might come through the gate and never come up and watch the hill climb.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
And he says, they're just coming in in droves yet. Right. So I took a break and Jamie was shooting the cannon off and riders are saying, what the hell's going on? Why are we stopping?
Right.
Well, the promoter came to me to look out for us to get more money in our purse,
Oh, that's epic.
Could I explained it better? Yeah, I should have probably called the riders meeting and said, man, we just got to slow down here. Promoter came. But when Kevin Looney comes and says, we need to slow down, you listen to the man.
And that's you want that option to slow down. You can't speed up. So you have to tune it so that you could always have distractions, right? But you can't speed up. So that's what you want. That's a win. So
well, has anybody left a West Coast race wanting more?
Well, I tell you one thing, at Columbus, when it's like 1 a.m. and I'm just getting ready to watch the final, I want more than boy, right?
Yeah, you just never know. I mean, look at with Zach Bousquet last year. He went down and that was an hour that we had to shut down.
Yep. No,
and like the Staircase was cursed as far as I'm concerned. It was Sean Farnsworth just fucking with me saying, I'm going to get you back here a little bit because when the timing lights just won't work and you tried everything. I think it was Sean was such a jokester. It's like he was throwing jabs at me there. But,
Rob, the other thing we just mentioned the twins class. And, I think it was a huge win. Like you initiated this twins class to try to get manufacturer involvement. What happens? Indian comes in. It was our fault. It didn't work, right? Like we didn't give them the runway they needed. And still to this day, Buell is involved, right? So there's two manufacturers that you pulled in that every other series wants to do, and you did it. Like you had that class and you got Indian and you got Buell that's still in this racing today. I think that's a freaking huge win and having that class. And I thought, I'm biased because I had a twin, so it benefited me obviously. So you're being honest, it really benefited me. But I loved the rubber tire. There was a definite change when I was at White Rose talking to fans. They're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh, I got M5B on there." Damn it, I had an M5B on my trail bike. I'm like, "Well, you're about to see what 130 horse does to an M5B right here," So it's kind of fun that we had that aspect and still do. And what did you think about the twins class, and how did you feel it went for you when you orchestrated it all?
I took so much heat on the whole thing because I built that class for Logan Cipala. I mean, that's what I heard.
I appreciate it.
Well, that was a given, I thought.
You did that. He's from the Midwest, and you built that class for him. And
is it too soon to tell everybody that I gave you 10% of all my winnings to make that class?
Yeah, and he bought more than a hamburger, Joe.
Yeah, I got dollar menu, Rob. That's all I got.
No, it's just the way of the future. It's the new wave, and when you think about how Yamaha has eliminated the R6, you can't buy an R6 anymore.
Wow.
And it's all going twins. And I just thought, and I had an inside connection with Gary Gray through Flat Track, and I sat in some meetings in Florida with Gary Gray, and I reached out to him about doing a hill climber. And cool guy. Gary Gray's the CEO of actually Polaris. Took a lot of talks. I wanted him to do one of the 1203s.
Right.
And
they should have did that.
And he said, no, he says, we'll do a 750. And it's like, well, the man's insistent on this, so you go with it, and yeah, it was cool. They couldn't compete. It was a light switch. Now, what a lot of people probably don't know about the deal that Kester got is he had to keep it in the Flat Track chassis. He couldn't build a complete chassis because Gary wanted the look of the FTR.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
So they tried to make it work, and the swing arm pivot was too high. And it was a light switch. It was on or off.
Right.
But it just never handled. I watched them blow the tire off the thing, and then all of a sudden it'd hook up. The chain would go over, when it was going over center, the chain would tighten up. And they signed a contract, and they had everything with that deal. Gordy built the swing arm. They put the front end on. They did the motor. Indian did the motor work. They're at S&S, and
I don't care. I don't care what you do. This is a dead conversation, but it's a 750. You're competing against 1200s. Like it ain't gonna happen, right? And we've seen JFK. He's one of the most talented, multi-versatile riders that in my generation. I mean, he's won every, in every format you could almost win in. The guy is amazing. Like if he couldn't do it, it just wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to work.
The chassis held it back. I mean, it would have beat the 1190s and Logan's Buell. Probably not. Right. Probably not. But if they would have just let him go the direction to build a chassis to make it work, it would have been better. Right. I just look at these MT-07s on a given day.
They're good.
Yeah, Ryan Raza last year won Freemansburg on Devon's 700. So who knows where it would have went? But John and Gordy were definitely the beneficiaries of that because they still had the bike. Indian called and asked if they wanted to sell it back to him, and Gordy called me and he said, "Would you sell it?" And I said, "No, I'd keep it." There's documentation of this being a factory Indian hill climber in 2021.
Right,
hasn't happened since the beginning of time.
Right.
So,
and even though it didn't work out, it was like one of the most anticipated and coolest things that Hillclimb's seen in a long time. For them to jump in like that. I mean, it's either way, no matter how it panned out, it was super cool to see
really cool.
That level of involvement and that type of bike come in.
Right. Yeah, it was fun. That was a proud moment for me, for sure. We went down to La Crosse and they built the pipes for it, and we were there, and they put it on the dyno, and it wouldn't make any horsepower. It was making 65 horsepower, and they couldn't figure out what was going on.
Wow.
And so they drove out from New York, and they said, no, we're going to keep the bike. We got to figure this out. It was like it was in limp mode. Well, Gordy put what they run on the nitro bikes to cover the throttle bodies. He put that in for an air cleaner. He made an air cleaner for it. Yeah. And that's why it only produced 65 horsepower. It was snuffing it out. Just those thin little socks they put over the throttle bodies.
Jeez.
Dang. Wow.
And they pulled those out. And it went right up to 90 horse. But,
Jeez.
I think when it was all said and done, it did 97 horse. So it wasn't a big horsepower, but that's kind of a target mark for flat track. They want 100 horsepower, nothing more.
Right.
But it was cool. It was a really cool experience. Got to meet cool people. I mean, so that was definitely a highlight.
I think a huge win in your career, and I thought it was just epic for the whole hill climb racing profession. I thought it was really cool to see that class go in. Other thing, Rob, like with your career, that when I think of you, is man, do I love it when I go and the first race we have a meeting and someone hands me a printed rule book. Damn, do I love that. I mean, it was that emphasized that you were all on the same page, right? When it's this verbal stuff where it's depends on kind of who you are, but there's a book, and yes, it backfired in some scenarios where people found loopholes, whatever. That's the good for the bad that you get. I get it. Yep. But damn, did I love that we had a rule book that you put a shitload of effort into, Rob. I mean, that I can't imagine how much time you spent getting that rule book squared away. That had to have been just a huge task.
The first one I did was 40 hours.
Whew. Damn.
And and that, that just plays into it, because you have to have a rule book, and all rule books have gray area. Yeah. Plain and simple, and it's interpretation. And myself and Logan, we went round and round about ride order one time, and
I don't know if there was any going round and round. I think you just chewed my ass and told me I was wrong and told me to get the fuck out of the lane or the hole.
Yeah, I kind of
because I was wrong.
I wasn't politically correct
though. It was so funny.
I took pride in that, and I always tried to have it out. The problem is Florida always wanted to print it. They sent it, they printed it, and the ball was always dropped, because if you're doing a rule book, that rule book should be out in January. So if people are doing stuff, that should be out in January. This year I seen the rule book was available the day before the Washington Nitro Nationals. The day before. Wow. I mean, if it's flat track, it's there's just a lot to it. But I'm a big believer in that. I'm a big believer in AMA, because everybody said, why don't you go away? And it's like, AMA is a body of 200,000 people. And it's not about racing. It's your right to protects your right to ride a motorcycle in general.
Yep.
And we don't have a whole bunch of say, but we do have people watching out for us. And so, but the rule book is an important thing, and getting the schedule out I always tried to do that. And there was always hang-ups with that about being published. And so, I'm not here to beg, but I give it 110% for a lot of years. And when you just don't have the backing from your sanctioning body, it makes it very hard.
Oh, yeah. And
that's tough.
We talk about it all the time, like the sport's built on passion, that's just because we don't have any money. So it's built on passion. And you were one of those passionate people that pushed all these things to always stay at the top level. And we're going to miss you not being there, Rob, because it's hard to fill that level of passion that you had. And but I think it's going to be kind of funny, because I bet you in 10 years, we're going to look at that rule book and it's going to be 95% of what you wrote, and just a couple of things changed.
It's, I hope everything continues to grow. I don't wish any ill will on it, but it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of work, and the relationships you have to have. I'll be straightforward. I had moles in every club, so I knew what the clubs were all talking about. AMA Pro Hillclimb. I knew what was being said in their meetings. Well, I had those moles that would tell me everything, so I could head it off at the pass before we ever got there. You know.
Yeah.
And those people, those old guys, started disappearing out of the club, and it just made it harder and harder. And the night race at White Rose last year, when they did the hill the day of the race.
Ugh, yeah.
It's just like, you gotta be kidding me.
Right. That's
You know, the twins went slower than the 450s. Well, that's because the hill wasn't done. The hill never set in, and it just it was getting harder and harder. You know, and Freemansburg is another one. They have a great facility.
Right.
I don't mind a rougher hill, but when you start getting the ledges and stuff that Freemansburg is getting now, and you still want them to go fast, that's sketchy. I mean, that just gets.
Yeah.
And after Zach went down last year, that was the icing. I was done after Zach went down.
Yeah.
I've been through 2 of them, and I couldn't do another one.
Yeah. No, I got that. And I mean, you've always been very clear and open. You've been doing everything you could for the riders, but you're one arm behind the back. You can only make suggestions. You can't get out there and actually force clubs to spend money. And but you've been a great voice. But you know, also, oh dang it! I had lost my train of thought. When
that was going to be a good one too. Damn it!
I know. Damn it! I had something wrote down here, and then I was going to change it. But you, through your career, Rob, you were. Oh, I don't remember. Sorry. It's a senior moment, Rob. I'm getting older. The coffee's getting to me.
I'm right with you.
But you know, talking when we were on the phone yesterday, we were talking, and I think it's so cool how you can't help but not communicate with your friends that you've raced with. There's these people like you were talking about the Appalachian Series, friends, people that you want to see succeed. Obviously, do you have an open text message if someone's got questions about promoting and riding? Are you still available for people to text or call or bother, or where you at? You want nothing to do with it?
No, I love talking to people. Times have changed so much. Right. I mean, everything has changed so much. Social media, I'm a dud on it, but you guys promote it, and I can see what it's doing, you know. But yeah, I'm still pen and paper type guy. Yeah. Terrible. I know, but little things I've learned over the years that just make such a huge difference. And when the Maynard started up Del Barton again, it was like, you know, I talked to Randy a few times about it, and he just wants to make it. He says, it's been a long time since I've been around, and what's the new side of it, you know?
Well, that or like there's we seeing it now where there's venues that are resurging, and there's new venues coming up like at Port Angeles and stuff like that. And sometimes there's the faction, like we've talked with a couple of California riders, I don't want to say, where they want to start a venue, like they want to start one. Well, when people are at that point, I wish they would call you, because you have so many connections that they need. Farm Tech. Who do I talk to? Where's Farm Tech at? I don't even know if it's in China or where. You've been dealing with them for how many years, right? Like little connections like that where someone can call them and like, oh, I got your number from Rob Redmann. Oh, awesome. You're looking for this. You know, it's like, if you're starting a race, man, I think a call to you could save them hours of research and figuring things out where you've already found the best of what you want. And it would mean a lot to us, Rob, if you would still extend that courtesy to people looking to start a great venue.
Yeah, I'm not I've been around, did a lot of things, and everything has changed so much, but the basics, it's still the basics. Right. It's still the basics.
When you're talking your factions of your career, and you're far from over, this is just the part we've got to so far, but you've been a rider, you've been a team owner, you've been the hill climb dad, you've been the referee, you've been an AMA official. Obviously, the AMA official probably put the most time out of your life into it. But what was the one that gives you the most memory? What faction of your career so far has kind of given you the most memories or pride?
I can't really pick a thing. You know, I when I was a rider, I was the guy. I was a nervous mess. I had elephants always stomping around in my stomach. Just, you know, and travel partner was Mike Wood, and he'd say, "Just relax, you know." And,
easy for you to say, right?
my riding didn't change until Nate started hill climbing, because all my nerves went from me to him, and then I won 2 national titles.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it was pretty
Right.
simple. Just like
Right.
Mike had been telling me forever, just relax.
Right.
But
Oh,
yeah,
funny.
that was cool.
Yeah.
I would say Nate, with doing what he did,
Oh man. Yeah.
kid from Minnesota, never had really, he won some state titles, won some national titles, but
Right.
to sell Dr. Bob,
Right. Man, it's
that was
cool.
by us going out and trying it, and
Yep.
Ah,
him becoming Rookie of the Year and winning 4 consecutive titles, never being out of the points championship in 4 years. That was cool.
Crazy.
that's cool, man. That's
Red
so
plate for
cool.
4 years straight.
Yep, and never was out of the points lead. That's the biggest thing.
Wow.
But like when I sold Jay on coming out, I tried to sell Bob. I said this at Bob's funeral. Anthony Hart got hurt, and I told Bob, I said, I got this kid out of Minnesota. I've been watching him since he's been 8 years old. He's not a crasher, blah, 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 blah. No, I haven't seen him ride. And I said, Bob, just give him a chance. Just give him a chance.
Right.
And so he said, okay, bring him out to Pogue's Hole. Jay hadn't sat on that motorcycle. It did nothing. That was the R1. And he made his first pass. Of course, Harold was there. Harold was leading. Jay dropped right into the number 2 spot, made another pass, and Jay's only mistake on that whole thing, he came down off the hill, and it was a full factory ride. The riders come off the hill. The guys were there to grab the bikes. They didn't have to do anything.
No.
Wow.
I told this story at the funeral. I said, Jay made one mistake because he told Bob the bike handled like a Cadillac. So Bob thought he didn't have to change anything. And then after that, Jay started hitting him with, we got to do the forks. We got to do the rear shock. We got to put a new seat on it. We got to do, but he told Bob that first race, it handled like a Cadillac, Bob.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And then I think the biggest thing is probably the national championship. And
Oh, yeah.
is it right to do it all in one day, one weekend? It should. I look back now, it should be accumulation of points or how it used to be back in the 60s. But when everybody showed up to the staircase,
Oh man.
that was
cool.
That was
That was
freaking
cool.
cool. Yep. When you saw Petey Krunich at the frickin' Devil Staircase, you're doing
Yeah.
something, right?
that
Like,
whole
that's
tribe.
like- yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
There's hundreds of opinions on better or different ways to do it, but either way you look at it, that was fucking awesome to
That
see
was
that many
unbelievable.
people, that many. I mean, it was stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
16 of the best hill climbers in the country, or 30 from each side.
Right.
And
Ah.
it was
And then that purse
awesome.
that year, that first year,
the purse was crazy.
That purse was $67,000.
Whew.
Mhm.
Holy balls. Yeah. Let's go.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah,
And
awesome.
there's things I would change. I mean, I took a lot of calls and I thought about it. Everybody getting paid, was that good? I kind of looked at the guys that were 16th through 32nd. That was show up money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
That was show up money. And
Yeah.
everybody says, well, you should get some show up money. Well, you got show up money. You got 32nd place and you got $332 and you didn't have to pay any entry fee.
Right.
Yep.
So look at it that way. That was show up
Yep.
money for you to come from California to ride.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. No.
So, and the guys on the top, the guys that do go fast, I think they deserve a lot of money, because they're laying it out. They're, well,
Risking
Logan's
their life.
The guys are fast. They're good and they deserve the money, but
Right.
you can't have a show with 5 guys.
No.
So-
No. It was epic. I was so proud to be there and be a part of that. That was cool. It was just
Yeah.
really cool to see all the people slinging and going. And just all the predictions beforehand. Are the West Coast
Yep.
guys gonna be able to go fast enough? Are the East Coast guys with the nitro bikes on the West Coast hill? That was freaking wild. Watching
Yep.
Jay and the Rosses try to do that, transfer in the middle. That was sick. It was really, really cool event.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of highlights, but just to name them, that's goes all the way back to when I started,
Right.
1974.
Wow. Dang.
So
That's cool. Wow.
Mhm.
Favorite
first,
bike
first
favorite
amateur national in Everett, Pennsylvania, 1976.
Woohoo! Let's
I went
go.
to Everett, Pennsylvania as a 11-year-old kid.
Wow. Cool. In your riding days, Rob, favorite bike you ever raced?
Probably my 1974 YZ80.
Nice. Awesome. Okay.
4.5 the suspension, and my dad was an old gearhead,
Yeah.
and He bought a kit.
Okay.
You got the cylinder, the pipe, the head, the piston, and my YZ80 in 1974 had 4.5 horsepower. He bought this. He bought this kit, put this kit on, and it went to 10.5 horsepower. It was like, holy shit, do I got something now?
Yeah. That's awesome. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I think Mike Bronk on his 175. I think he actually had it was called a Noguchi kit.
Oh,
and
dang.
Chrome bore in 1974. They came out with Nickel.
Dang. Wow.
But yeah, over double the horsepower. It was just like, wow, do I got a motorcycle?
Yeah, you felt like you were class jumping at that point, probably.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Okay, so flip side of the coin, buying stuff, the worst bike you were so happy to sell and get rid of. Is there one bike that you were just like, get this thing out of our possession that cost you so much money? I know for Logan's dad, it was the last 50 that the kids had. He said, I'm so glad to be done with 50s. They're so expensive. Was there a bike that drove you?
Mine was the 125.
Okay.
I bought 3 125s in 1 year.
Oh, God.
Yeah, bought 3 125s in 1 year. Yeah, it must have been that year. Yeah, I spent a lot of money there.
We all have those, right? We all have them. Well, dude, Rob, we're gonna have you on again. We got to check in with the man. But your legacy, the amount of time and energy that you've put into this sport, Rob, it's going to pay dividends for 10, 20, 30, 40, an infinite amount of years for the things that you've done. From all the riders that have ever got that envelope of thick hundreds from AMA Pro Racing and American Hillclimb East, thank you. We know that you had a big part of that big fat envelope. I have envelopes up on my shelf that I don't forget about, they're so rare for me, where I got, 4-digit numbers on an envelope that was just full of cash. That was because of you promoting for the rider, getting everything that you could. That helped me go to more races and other people just like me build stuff, make stuff cool. And I was so thrilled to be a part of the machine that you created, Rob. And there's so many riders so thankful for people like yourself that put so much time and energy into doing it. And it's thankless. We told the stories tonight about all the things when you want to change them, how everybody hates it until it works. Thank you for being that bulldog and pushing it through, and always just having the best interest of the sport and the riders in your heart and mind. And dude, don't go away, right? Like we want you getting those phone calls from the Dayton Motorcycle Club. What do you think of this? And you're such a great whiteboard for people to bounce ideas off of. Please be that form that 30 plus years of knowledge people can tap into. So please be there for us. Okay.
Yeah, no, anybody can call. And I just got to say, I think the biggest improvement that I've seen in the hill climb world as of now is the new open knobby class.
Woo! I do love that class, Rob. That is a sick class.
That's cool.
It's cool.
Well, it opens the door up.
Yes.
It opens the door up so everybody can ride, and every flavor is there. So,
and I want to help Two Beers. I mean, I'm just waiting for that one injury where I'm just on the microphone, because that's, as an announcer, they really got to highlight that we have no freaking clue what the fastest bikes can be today, right? It might be a 450, a 550, a 700 class bike, an open bike. We don't know. That's what's so freaking cool about that class, is it's just, you don't know. For a fan's point of view, you have no idea what's going to be the fastest, right? So
it's going to be cool.
For the national championship, it should be open class only.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Just like you guys do in France.
Yep.
5 runs.
5 runs. Yep. Because that's all they come to watch anyways, is the open.
That's all they care about.
Let's give it to them. So.
And the kids.
And the kids. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, thank you guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll touch back, Rob. Just, hey, helmet for the e-bike, please, God. I don't want to come down and have to dab drool off the corner of your mouth. Okay, just helmet for the e-bike. All right.
Well, I got a new half face with a flip down shield. So.
Perfect. All right, keep that moneymaker looking good. All right, thanks, bud. Thanks for everything. We'll talk again soon, bud.
See ya.
All right, we're out of here.
Against the Grain Design and Print is proud to announce its partnership with Find the Line. Against the Grain works with clients to build their business and racing goals through the design and production of premium stickers and decals. We offer one-of-a-kind subscriptions for a flat monthly fee that can save you hundreds of dollars. Custom mailers, white label printing, motocross graphics, and anything else you can think of, we have you covered. It's time to print your passion. Visit atgdesign.co or email sales@atgdesign.co.
Hey there, Find the Line listeners. We will always be looking for partnerships for Find the Line. Please email findthelinepod@gmail.com to see how we can work together to grow your brand. Once again, that's findthelinepod@gmail.com. Now, let's get back to it.
Woo! Oh yeah, thank you ATG Design. Dang it, looking so good. I think we gotta announce the $100 gift certificate winner, right? From
Mm-hmm.
the Supercross, randomly number drawn, and my buddy Kevin Gardner out in Cali, Kevin 808. KK 808 on the thing won the $100 gift card. He said it's the only thing he's ever won in his entire life. He's so pumped.
It seems a little suspicious.
Well, a little bit. I mean, but you know what? Everybody on there is our friends, so it's going to
True,
be
I guess. Yeah,
suspicious, right?
yeah, yeah,
And
yep.
we did find the last week, the weekly winner of the week, the $20 winner. I found out who that was. Their name wasn't on the thing, but Dean knew who it was. So
Okay,
Dean put me in touch as one of Dean's buddies. So he
okay,
got paid as well. So everybody's
cool.
all paid out for the fantasy. So that was epic.
Good deal.
Yeah. So congratulations on the winner, and thanks for playing. That was a lot of fun. Man, Rob, what a freaking career, huh? Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, he didn't touch on the early days as much, but he
Right.
started out, and I know that he was part of it with Scott and Campbell and put a ton of time in. And just like he said, it's been going out east for 20 years, and 10 plus of those was running the show. So
Yeah.
I can understand why he's got a lot more free time and why he's excited to not be doing it. But we're gonna miss him for sure. He did a good job.
Yeah, no, we're gonna miss him for sure. And man, it's just cool to talk to him, and you can just still hear today the same passion in his voice. It's like talking with Kerry Peterson. They just
Yeah.
that's what gets their blood going is those dirt bikes, and it's so fun to talk to those guys that have had such a big impact in our sport. And we just sampled on a few things. Like when we talked
Yeah.
to him, we could have had a 4-hour episode with Rob about all the things that he's done and instituted, and that was just some of the high points. So thanks,
Yeah.
Rob. Like, man, it's
It's
cool.
it's cool. Like I wanted to touch on it at one point. We just kind of skipped over, but like in 2019, I mean, I had done them on and off. I think since 2014 or 15 was my first one, and it was pretty cool to do them and do a couple of them and experience it because I'd only gone out west to race.
Right.
And 2019, I made the jump because, like, I've been racing a few of these championships, and I wanted to put an AMA Pro Racing championship on my wall and be
Right.
able to get it. And when I went out there, instead of going out west, it wasn't a popular decision. Like, it's not anything that anybody would have done or looked at because it just
Yes.
wasn't what it wasn't a legitimate or looked at as very legitimate series. The hills, nobody really knew a whole lot about them or looked that great. The competition wasn't as deep as it was on the west, so it was kind of the second or third fiddle as far as series went, and it completely changed over the next 3 to 4 years. I think it kind of hit its peak in like that probably 23 year up until Colby quit. I can't remember if he went through 24 or yeah, he must have been going in 24. So, but it was a bummer losing him. But like it went from people asking me what the hell I was doing to go out east to everyone saying I want to go out east, even guys from West Coast. So, and that was a lot of just bringing more getting more people's eyes on it from out there, and then Rob stepping up when he needed to and making it look professional. People got the tents, they got the pit setups, the
Right.
talent kept getting deeper and deeper every year,
Yeah.
and it was just cool to see how awesome it became and how much it grew and how professional it looked for a while there. And the social media that Colby was doing and Rob's work and Cowboy's work, like everybody was putting in a lot of time and effort into it. And it's
Right.
kind of, I feel like AMA didn't really want to step up and continue supporting or with the level that we need. And it's kind of disappointing, I mean, I love AMA and everything they do, but it's a bummer that when the series was finally getting a full head of steam behind it and
Yes.
really, really pushing, that we were just kind of hands off from our organization body.
They missed it. They missed the
Mhm.
bullseye. And I
They
mean,
did.
I obviously it wasn't you alone that legitimized that East series, but
No,
you were a
definitely not
huge,
trying to say that either.
but you
But
were a huge part of it because here you were the first person since Harold that had won in Naha, won in Rockwell,
mm,
went east and had success as well.
mhm.
And people saw it as like, well, damn, that guy wins at Columbus. He wins in Carnegie. He's winning at Billings, and now he's out at Freemansburg. And then when you come on, when you're interviewed and you say, yeah, the first time I saw Freemansburg, I was like, I need longer extensions. People are like, oh, damn, this place is legit, right? Like
Yep.
it's that
Exactly.
when it comes from someone like yourself, they know it's factual because you've ridden everywhere that you could ride a professional bike, So I thought that was pretty sick that you added that aspect to the East,
Yeah, and it was fun. I mean, I wouldn't change the decisions I made at all to go out there and um, start doing that. It was great.
Right. I questioned you when you went east. I was like, what are you doing? I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why don't you keep going to Billings? And you're like, it's AMA racing. Like there's a Hall of Fame. Like when you search it, it's the one thing that comes up. It's the biggest organization in North America is putting on these races. I want to be a part of it. And I was like, all right, I get it now. I didn't get that at the time.
Yeah, there are a very select few amount of people that get to race for a championship is with those logos on it. I mean, I'm not going to say it's as prestigious as the other series that they promote, but
Right.
it's got the same logo on it, and we're on the same website and have the same credentials, and that's pretty legit. And
Yes. Yeah.
it's a real, like, you feel like you're a real professional event when you're there.
Yeah. And then when you add Devils, and when it was started, when you first went, it was Pogues. It's like, dang, like these are some heavy hitter events. This is pretty cool. Wow. Very
Definitely.
cool. Yeah. Well, thanks, Rob. I mean, dang,
Yep.
we were talking, and we need to have him on every year just to kind of touch base with him and see what he's thinking, because he keeps his finger on the pulse. He ain't going to let it go. He's going to keep watching. He's going to keep, and he's got great opinions about stuff. So it'll always be good to talk to him.
Oh yeah, he's not totally removed. He's still talking to everybody.
Yeah, I just now he better we got to watch out because he might not have the same filter that he had before. We might find out too much. We don't know. So. Going into we're setting up for the East Series to start at White Rose, and I mean, holy crap, the East, it's a big series. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 races besides the national championship. I mean, that's the biggest series that we have in professional hill climbing. Obviously, the West, they double each event, right? So 2 rounds at Washington, 2 rounds at Port Angeles, 2 rounds at the Potato Race. There's 3 venues. Here in the East, there's double at White Rose, but it's on 2 different months. They're not even in the same. So we go White Rose, Freemansburg, Muskegon, Kansas, White Rose, Freemansburg, Devils. So I mean, that's about as big a series as we have. That's pretty epic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, this year I think the national championship going west kind of makes the East Coast series, regional series, a lot better because we don't just have 2 the 4 Pennsylvania races and maybe 1 other one sprinkled in. We've got 4 Pennsylvania races plus that Kansas, Michigan, and Ohio now.
Yes.
So it's adding a lot of variety into the series this year, which is going to be really exciting. We haven't had that, it's just been the series, I think, suffered a little bit with Devil Staircase having to pull out of running a regional one, which is totally understood. And it was better for the hill climb, for the sport in general, but it's going to be really exciting. I think. I mean, it's the biggest series in the country right now.
And it's these events. If you haven't got a credential and race the East, White Rose is an unbelievably fun hill. Like it is fun, and that top jump is no joke. Like it's a professional level hill. Freemansburg speaks for itself. That hill is a monster, and like when Rob was talking, she's rough, and be prepared to get uncomfortable at that hill. It is long, it is tall, and it is rough, and you will be asked to do a few things that make you a little uncomfortable. And Muskegon, dang, like, are they gonna do something with that bottom? Have you heard like what their plans are?
I've heard nothing, but
that it's scary, man. Like as for me, it would be something that would keep me from going because I just that's watching Josh break his bike in half on that bottom, and I don't know if that was the reason for it, but I'm not a big fan of going at full speed and hitting small landings on a hill climb bike. I like jumping road gaps where the farther I go, the better it is. And that bottom, it looked really terrifying. That picture of Dog where it looks like he's got a freaking cosmonaut helmet on and space in the Buell. No, I don't ever want to take a picture like that on an open bike in the bottom of a hill trying to hit a 30 foot or 20-foot landing gap. That's
Mhm.
just crazy to me. So I
Yeah,
hope
I'm
that they
hoping
change
that
it.
they make a couple improvements on there. Last I had heard, it sounded like they were gonna, or they wanted to, or knew they had to. So
Okay, cool.
hopefully they do.
That being said, my experiences in McKean, I love that place. It's super fun. It's
It's a cool
awesome. It's
hill.
an awesome
Hmm.
venue. It's really good for pitting. They've had huge crowds there in the past. I think they could pull huge crowds again. We
Hmm.
just got to give them the show that the fans want. And
Yeah.
then going from Muskegon, Troy, Kansas, man, that is probably one of the more exciting venues that's been added on in the last
Hmm.
few years. And what a great team they have there. And you yourself, have you ever had a bad time at Troy?
No, I haven't. I've only been there a couple times, but they both are were a great time. So
Right.
I'm excited.
And I think that at that hill, there's a, a big difference of ability and what can happen as far as who can go fastest, what you need. That bottom,
Hmm.
it takes a lot of skill, but
Yep.
horsepower is always there, right? So it's like
Yep.
it'd be interesting to see what kind of a bike wins at Troy, Kansas. That'd be kind of fun to see.
Yeah. Like we talked about Washington being so hard to be perfect for 19 to 20 seconds. At Kansas, you only have to be perfect for 4.
Right.
So that opens up a whole new element of tight racing. We
Yes.
might need
Yes.
timers that go to 4 digits and not 3.
That would be pretty epic. That would be pretty cool.
No, it's cool. It's always tight racing down there, and yeah,
Right.
when you just have to nail 3 or 4 elements perfectly, it tightens everybody up and keeps it exciting.
Yeah, for
Probably
sure.
I would expect it to be some of the best racing overall as
Oh
it
yeah. No.
has been at
That's
any of the events.
and that's where the line choice, like how it's prepped, when you
Yeah.
ride, like all those things, like that's where a professional, when every revolution of that tire matters, you have to put in the time and know what you need, know what your bike
Mhm.
needs, all that. That's pretty
Yep.
huge.
Yep.
And then after Troy, back to White Rose, back to Freemansburg, and then finishing at Devils. And
Mhm.
that's going to be interesting. Have you heard anything about Devils? What they're going to do as far as a format?
The last I heard, I think they wanted to do the 450s on the West Coast Hill
Cool.
and then maybe the twins class. I can't remember for sure, but I saw
Okay.
somebody comment somewhere that they were going to use the West Coast Hill. I just don't know
Okay.
how much. But it's like, I would be all for doing it a 50-50 show. Do 450s and twins on the West Coast Hill. Start them maybe a little bit earlier and then say like noon or 1, or would probably be like more like 1 or 2, then move on to the East Coast Hill and do Premier and X Climb. God, that'd be a fun event, and it'd be
Yeah.
a lot of variety. It'd be fun stuff for the crowd to watch.
Right.
And I guess I don't know if the twins are better suited for the West Coast Hill or the East Coast Hill, but I think it maybe adds a little bit of mystique to the event where it's just the 2 premier classes that the crowd wants to watch there on the
Right.
big bad hill.
Yeah. I could go
I
both
could go
ways.
either way on the twins
Yeah.
class, but I think 450 definitely on the West Coast Hill is way more
Yes.
exciting.
Absolutely. And
And
then
the crowd's going to want to see it. Like they're going to have a
yeah.
hill sitting there
Right.
and it doesn't get used. People in the crowd are gonna be like, why the hell aren't they using that cool hill?
Right.
So
Yeah.
make use of it, do what we want to do. And, the twins class is small enough where it probably doesn't really matter which hill they use, but it'd be
Right.
fun to ride that hill a little bit. It's a cool hill and nice layout, and everyone seems to enjoy it.
Right. They are just going to do one day though. They're not going to they're not going to try to do 2 days, right? They're going to go back to a 1 day
No,
format.
yeah, just a 1 day event, single points round, all that good stuff. Yeah, just
Okay.
back to the way it's been as far as I know.
I wonder if they'll go back to having the grass drags then on Friday
I
or
wouldn't be
Saturday.
surprised. Yeah,
That would be
that'd be
pretty
fun
smart of
if we
them.
could make a whole weekend out of it down there. It was always cool.
I think that would help for their camping aspect too. If they could have something
Hmm.
on Friday or Saturday, get the people camping all weekend, and then have the
Yeah.
huge party on Sunday, that'd be pretty freaking cool.
Hmm.
They're going to do it
Probably a
right.
little bit early right now, but soon enough, we'll have to have Kevin back on and see what he's
Yes.
got in store for us.
Yes. No, whatever Dayton Motorcycle Club does, it's gonna freaking hit it out of the park. They don't
Oh
they
yeah,
don't they don't ever strike out. So it's gonna be
no,
awesome. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
for sure.
So you've raced now in the West. You obviously
Mm.
had the failure on the Buell. Have you had
Mhm.
any updates on the Buell? Have you heard what happened or what's going on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They messaged me last week and they said all that happened was that a rod bolt came loose and I caught it just in time before I grenaded the rest of the engine. So
No.
it proved that it pays off to take care of your equipment and not just beat the shit out of it.
Wow.
That was
Dang.
cool. I was really happy to hear that. The guy building it said there were no wear marks on the rod or the crank. He said everything looked really good inside, and he's like, you literally caught this right in time.
Sick. Awesome.
Yeah.
So are you going to be able to get it back, or what are they thinking?
Yeah, I think they were planning or hoping to ship it out either late last week or early this week. So as long as I get it here by Wednesday or Thursday, I think we can put it back together and get on the road. So that's the
Wow.
plan right now. And then if not, I'm going to steal Luke's bike for
Okay.
the
All right.
opening Pennsylvania rounds. Probably put my suspension and bars on it and all that good stuff. But
Okay.
it sounds like they're going to be able to get it back to me. He was just going to keep working on it. He's like, yeah, stuff comes pretty easy to me because he's had them apart 100,000 times, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah.
And he's going to try to put it back together a little bit more for the race bike style versus just a production engine, which would be good for the
That
long
would
run
be
too.
amazing. Wow, how awesome. Thank you, Buell, for taking care
Yeah,
of your
yeah,
rider and helping you out. And
yeah.
what great R&D for them, right? I mean,
Hmm.
that bike has either been at idle or max load its entire
Hmm.
life, right? Like
Yep.
that's pretty epic that you've had all these seasons and this
Hmm.
is our first issue. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, yeah. I've got no complaints and super excited that they helped me out. That was awesome of them to do. I know they've got a million irons in the fire right now with
Right.
all their production stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
them taking the time out of their day and week to assist me like that is absolutely huge,
Right.
and it keeps me rolling.
Cool. So with that, I mean, does that impact what you might be doing for your schedule this year? Because I mean, we know you're the machine. You race all over, but also we see riding hard enduro, riding air scrambles. We
Hmm.
got to talk after this about the schmedium enduro that you just competed in, right?
Yep.
But what does that affect for your hill climb schedule? Have you had any thoughts? Are you playing it by ear, or what are you thinking about doing for the 26 season?
Yeah, I'm playing the second half of the season by ear a little bit. I'm definitely obviously going up to these first two East Coast races, and then
Okay.
after that, I think it's Michigan. So that'll be kind of I'm gonna that'll be kind of more up to Buell if they are gonna be a part of that race and want me to go up there. I'm gonna go, and if not, then I might skip it. Just unless I see the hills drastically change and looks really good. Because right now, I don't really have any interest racing the hill the
Right.
way it was, especially with
Okay.
everybody getting hurt and stuff. But
Right.
um, we'll do that for sure. And then, after June and July, it's off till September for
Right.
actual professional series.
Yep.
And then we'll just see. That whole month is kind of going to play it by ear too. A
Okay.
lot depends on how the brick mine goes and which series I'm actually going to finish out because Motoclimb and AMA East are double booked.
Oh yeah.
And then
Shoot.
I think I can get to Big Nasty without any other conflicts, but I'm
Okay.
not sure if I'm going to go out there or not. But right now it's
Okay.
looking like I'm probably done on the AMA West Coast,
Okay.
unless I needed to go to Big Nasty for some reason or
Okay.
even Port Angeles, depending on the next 2 weeks go. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully the next 2 weekends don't go that bad where I have to go back out west right away. But
Right.
it's nice to have a little bit of opening in the schedule to just kind of pick and choose what I want to do, and I'm gonna
Right.
kind of do what sounds good and
Right.
sounds fun for the next few.
I gotta think, and this is just me speculating. And once again, I was completely wrong before when I've speculated this, but on the East, I think they're gonna have a tough time getting all 16 people to leave Devils and go to Washington, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta think that if you're looking to qualify for the national championship, and if you could go put 3, 4 rounds in, 5 rounds in at the East, they're going to keep calling people until they get 16. So, I mean, I think
Mhm.
it's, if you're looking to make the national championship and you can't make all the West races, because the West races, they're not going to have a hard time filling out 16.
Mm-mm.
That's going to be very easy. There's going to be no no's in that group unless there's someone that's got a wedding on the championship or something, right?
Yeah.
But on the East, I think you're going to have a good opportunity for some people that can't do an entire series to maybe hit that venue, unless I'm way off basis and they're not going to call 17, 18, 19, 20 if the first 16 don't go, but I'm pretty sure they will.
Yeah, you never ever know who's actually going to show up to race until you pull in to White Rose on Saturday or Sunday. But
Right.
from the talks and from what I've heard, it sounds like there's a lot of people dipping out this year,
Yeah.
not gonna do it or not gonna do the full series. So I am
Right.
very, very interested to see who actually shows up and who's actually racing. And if
Right.
less people show up, makes it easier to do less rounds and still qualify too.
Right. You
So
know,
it's gonna be crazy.
we don't have a caught in our chain, but I got this one for you right now. And I'm just
Yeah.
going to put this out there. If somebody that comes there is like a podium person and they're complaining about how expensive it is to go racing, just just give them a backhand for me, right? Because it's not
Yeah.
expensive for you to go racing when you make a profit every time. For someone like
yeah.
me that never has turned a positive green, I've never had a black letter day when I leave the race. No matter if diesel is $1 a gallon, I lost my ass going to that race, right? Don't complain to me about diesel's going to be 30% more expensive and it's hard for you to go to the race. They're all expensive for me to go, and I still go, and I work extra overtime to go, right? But I can already see that the people that are going there, and I only made $4,000 instead of $4,600 this weekend. Do not complain to me if you're sitting on the podium in every class and getting a huge, thick envelope of cash, right? I would backhand you if you complain to me about that, because I get it. It's expensive to go to races. It always is, right? It's more expensive now than it's ever been, right? But you can make it cheap and you can make it expensive. So if you're winning a bunch of money, do not effing complain to me about how expensive it is, okay? That's my cotton and chain, but it's not cotton and chain.
Yep.
So.
I'm on board with that. I mean, no matter what, it still sucks to put the diesel in the tank and see those numbers, but it's like, I'll keep going for me as much as I can while I'm still making a little bit of money, just cuts down a little bit on what you're actually putting in your pocket at the end of the day. But if you're on the podium in all three classes, you're pretty much always going to make money unless you choose to do it very, very expensive. But it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see what all shakes out at the first two rounds.
Yeah, and this could bring new people. Maybe there's some people that we haven't raced with that are going to come out, and we're going to see some new members or new people on the podium. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I was talking to Braden a little bit last week, and he said that it sounds like there's maybe some amateur guys from the East Coast that we're looking at jumping in, and then hopefully like Tebow gets his stuff back together and he's able to join us. So maybe it'll be still a full series, just some new faces, and some of the older faces will drop out, which is just what happens over time. So it'll be cool to see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see who's all there. Have you heard about Fans Choice at all? Are they going to have that for the East? I was so bummed they didn't have it in Washington. Have you heard?
Yeah, I haven't heard a word. I'm guessing with the way everything seems to be going with AMA, they're probably just taking a step back from it, because I don't know. I don't know if many people were impressed with it or really loved it, and who knows what their actual viewership was.
Right.
We weren't really told last year, so.
And I mean, my opinion is like, I wanted it everywhere, but if they have Fans Choice, have it on the West Coast events, because there's no spectators there, right? The East Coast already has like a ton of spectators, and we don't want to detract from them actually going to the race if they could just watch it. Where the West Coast, they don't have 3,000. Well, maybe they do. They don't ever announce it, but I mean, it just I would like to watch those races because it's not available as easy as if you're at the White Rose and there's 3,000 spectators, you can go to the damn race, right? Like they need that money, but the West Coast, it's not pot derivative. It doesn't matter. It's just, so I don't know, but whatever. That's just my 2 cents. So, well, cool. Well, good luck. We're excited to see how it goes. Hopefully you got your old faithful back from Buell and you can run. And looking forward for that race recap for White Rose. Are you staying out or what are you doing?
Yeah. Maybe I was lucky enough with work again that they said I could go and make my weekly or my bi-monthly stop or whatever it's been lately in Connecticut and work out there. So
sweet.
That's pretty sweet. You got a 5-hour drive after the race to get up there and then stay out there for the week. And sounds like Todd Pincinot and I are going to do some motoing again later this week. So I'm freaking pumped about that.
Sweet. Cool.
So yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm excited. Been traveling a lot, so I'm not totally looking forward to living out of the hotel for the next week or so, but it'll be all good.
Yeah, that's a bummer, but those days are short. You're gonna go like that, and you're gonna be at home for a month, and you're not gonna do it yourself. So
yeah, exactly, and that's kind of the way I look at it now. It's like, man, I'm so fortunate to be able to ride a dirt bike and make a little bit of money doing it. So it's like I might as well take advantage of every opportunity I get to travel and not be home and do all this cool shit. Because maybe less than 10 years now, I might not be doing it, and you never know. You'll be wishing you were or wishing you did more.
Yeah, Morgan spits out triplets, and you're not going to be racing as much, right?
Let's hope it doesn't go that way.
I tried to bait you into that one. All right, one other thing before we go. So pumped. Obviously, I'm part of USA Motoclimb, and we got these sweet posters. We're going to be starting to put them up all over. And what it is, it's a way for you to be a part and support USA Motoclimb. Our 3 riders, Tristan Alexander, John Wolfson, Logan Cipala, all going to France. They're all paying their own way. They're paying their expenses. They're getting a little bit of help from the French team with their rooms, but otherwise it's all up to them. It's so expensive to go over there. And we're trying to make this platform available for riders that compete in Motoclimb Super Series and they want to race abroad. We're trying to have a road for them to go race South America, race France, and we're trying to get some funding so that we can help them. And a dream scenario would be if we can get enough money, we can start flying their bikes over for them so they can ride their equipment at these foreign venues, which would be just epic. The way we're doing it is you buy a $100 support sticker, which is designed by Colby Marble, and it's a freaking epic support sticker. It's so cool. It says you're part of the team. $100 buys that sticker, and you get a chance by buying that sticker at winning an E-Ride Pro Model SR, a freaking 70-mile-an-hour badass e-bike, a Honda generator, or $500 cash that will be drawn day 2 of the Great American at the Riders meeting. And there's been so many people supporting. We're so thankful. We need more. We're gonna be asking at the next few races up until the Great American. If you got it, hell, I'm buying pull tabs. I spend way more than that on pull tabs trying to win $200. These are legit badass prizes. The money's going 100% of it. I'm not getting $1. Nobody else is getting $1. It's only the riders that are getting this money. I'm only giving. I'm not taking. There's none of this money whatsoever is going to anything but the riders. So, we got to pay for the prizes, so that we pay for the prizes out of it and goes to the riders. So just know every dollar you get, it's benefiting this team going and racing in France this year. And thank you. So many people supporting. Also, at Big Sky, I'll have podium coats. You saw John Wolfson, their red USA Motoclimb, our podium coats. I'll have those for sale. Ryan Wyatt's been wrapping them. I got some sick one-offs, USA Motoclimb hats, some flat brims. The hats are 30, the coats are 50. I'll be at Big Sky selling those and the tickets. Would love to come. Get this, Logan. You buy a hat, a podium coat, or a ticket, comes with a free high five. Okay. I will deliver a high five with my bad elbow.
You just don't find value like that nowadays, do you?
You just don't. You don't. And I'm excited to deliver them. I'm excited to give them. I think it's a win for everybody. So look me up. I'm going to have the posters up. The posters have a QR code. You can scan it. Goes right to the USA Motoclimb merch store. You can buy merch. You can buy the tickets right there. I'll mail you cool stickers and your receipt when you get it. And been awesome. Thank you for all the support we've been getting. My brother was selling them at work. One guy bought 5 tickets at his work.
Holy smokes.
So it's pretty epic, the support we've been getting. It's a pretty good deal for as far we're not selling many of the tickets. So you have a very high chance at winning that freaking E-Ride Pro. So it's pretty awesome. So thanks for everybody's support. And then, while I'm doing it to myself, how cool is this, Logan?
Yep. They're sweet.
I made these little kits for the riders. So they're little tubes. They got all that you need to put the posters up. Tristan, I got yours in my hand right now. It's going to be awesome. There's posters. There's thumbtacks. Did I glue both caps on? I think I glued both caps
Probably.
on. But anyways, you'll be seeing us. So thank you for the support. We'll be seeing you at the Big Sky in just 10 days. It's going to be awesome. Not even 10 days. Yeah, 7 days. So yeah.
7.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yep.
We miss anything?
No, I think we're all covered.
Dude, go get him at White Rose. Take no prisoners, okay?
Yep, we're going to try. That's the plan.
Best of luck to Dave, his first officiating. We're going to have to get him on, maybe get a recap from Dave next week or whatever, see how things are going for him.
We can call him next week and see if he's ready to quit already or if he's going to show up for Freemansburg.
Yes, let's hope all positive. Take it easy on Dave, right? We all got to help together, right? So.
That's a good ending point. Anyone listening to this on the drive, it's Dave's first time.
Yes.
Don't be a douche. Just work with them, be respectful, help him out if he needs help. And I'm really looking forward to see how this goes and hoping it's all nice and smooth for the transition and Dave's prepared and ready to go. And
he will.
It's going to be different, but hopefully all good. And everyone's excited and ready to race. It's exciting to get this East Coast swing started.
Let's frickin' go. Fish sandwiches, horsepower. Let's go.
Yeah, can't beat it.
Man. All right. Well, Tom, let's get the hell out of here. I got to get some more Baileys, and we'll talk to you on the flip side.
Yep. See ya.
Come on, my mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit where shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, 'cause they'll get you through this so-called life.